Hello, this is the Circularity Catalyst podcast, where regenerative thinking meets real-world strategy. I'm your host, Ken Alston. Your business depends on stable supply chains, predictable costs, and reliable operating conditions. But what if I told you that your current business model is systematically destroying the very conditions it needs to survive? I'm Ken Alston. I've spent over 20 years in corporate sustainability, helping launch one of the first corporate sustainability departments, compiling some of the earliest annual sustainability reports, and formulating country circular economy roadmaps. I worked with the founders of Cradle to Cradle Design for 17 years, helping to create the Sustainable Packaging Coalition and the Cradle to Cradle Products Innovation Institute. But after decades in this field, I realized something critical was still missing. That's when I developed two proprietary frameworks that changed everything. First, the tactical tetrahedron. It's a three-dimensional model based on nature's own operating system. Unlike the flat, oversimplified sustainability models everyone else uses, this shows how businesses can actually operate like living systems do. And second, the Design Like Nature framework. It's a 7-step system that moves businesses from linear extraction to regenerative growth. It's not theory, it's a proven pathway I've tested worldwide. These frameworks revealed what was missing. We weren't just trying to do less harm. We needed to identify where businesses were actually killing the conditions they depend on, and switch to creating and sustaining the conditions that are required for life on Earth, as we also create and sustain our lives and our work. I call it Vitacide Risk. It's from the Latin vita, meaning life, and side, meaning to kill. It's the business risk that comes from operating in ways that damage the very living systems your company actually depends on. Now, of course, most companies aren't trying to destroy anything. They're just operating with business models that treat clean water, stable climate, and healthy ecosystems as if they were infinite and free. But these systems aren't infinite. And companies that figure this out first are gaining incredible competitive advantages. The early warning signs are already showing up in your financials. Rising raw material costs. Supply chains disrupted from extreme weather and pandemics. New regulations appearing around the globe. And customer preferences that are shifting towards more regenerative, more sustainable companies. These aren't just external pressures. They're symptoms of Vitacide risk in your current business model. In my corporate work, I've achieved myself and helped other companies achieve impressive eco-efficiency gains. 29% reduction in virgin packaging over 10 years. But those hard-fought savings got eaten up by even modest annual growth targets in just 5 to 7 years. And that's when I realized eco-efficiency alone isn't enough. We need a completely different approach. After working worldwide helping governments and corporations understand circularity, I can tell you this. The companies eliminating Vitacide risk first aren't sacrificing profitability. They're discovering new sources of competitive advantage that their competitors can't access because those competitors are still stuck in Vitacide risk generating business models. Here's the problem. You can't manage a risk you can't see. And most businesses have never had their leadership team in the same room asking the right questions about Vitacide risk. And that's why I created the Vitacide Risk Discovery Session. It's a one-day intensive for your senior leadership team. A morning keynote where I share insights from 40 years of working on sustainability. from Rachel Carson's Silent Spring to the cutting edge of circular economy design. Then, an afternoon workshop using my proprietary frameworks to map your specific Vitacide risk exposure and identify where eliminating this risk creates competitive advantage. You'll walk out with the clear Vitacide risk heat map and a prioritized action plan. No theory, no sustainability theater, just hard business intelligence about risks your competitors probably can't even see yet. This approach has emerged from decades of working inside corporations, not outside them. I understand how businesses actually operate. This isn't for everyone. It's for leadership teams that understand that the businesses that will thrive in the next decade won't be the ones that ignored this Vitacide risk. The discovery session is $5,000. One day, your leadership team gets the diagnostic framework that reveals whether your business model is accidentally destroying its own operating environment. Because you can't build a thriving business on a dying planet. If your business is ready to see what others are missing, let's talk. I'm your host, Ken Alston.